everyone, welcome back to another video. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Allie or Allison. I am a flight attendant for a major US airline. I'm pretty new. I'm a very new hire. I've only been with my company for about 3 months, and that means I am on reserve, and reserve means that you're on call. You don't know your schedule, you don't know when you're flying. You just know your days off and you know your days that you're on call for. I also commute, and that's what today's video is going to be about as far as crash pads go. Whether you need a crash pad, if it's worth it to have one, the pros and cons of having a crash pad and the expense of it all. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Be sure to subscribe below and push a like on this video. Also be sure to be following me on Instagram. I will link that below. And I'd love to get you guys' feedback. And on my channel, you will find that I vlog about flight attendant life, mommy life, and kind of balancing it all. I am also married. I have a lovely husband at home who handles everything while I'm away and takes care of the house and everything. I couldn't do this without him. Alright, so number one question I get asked is, how much does it cost to be in a crash pad? That varies based on where you're based and the area in which the crash pads are. Here in Dallas, crash pads on average start at about $300 for the whole month, and depending on the area. I currently pay $250 for my crash pad, which is a really good deal. And there's two types of beds. There are hot beds and then there are cold beds. Hot beds is where you're not there very often and you only pay basically for like a set amount of nights that you're going to be there for the month. And being on reserve, you really don't know what those are going to be, so that's why I went the cold bed option. And the cold bed option means that that is your bed. No one else can take it. Oh, I should have mentioned a minute ago, but the hot bed is where anyone could take it. Basically, I could sleep in this bed one night, and then the next night someone else could sleep in it. And then if, let's say, you needed to sleep in it, I guess you wouldn't get a bed or something. It's just, I've never had one. I don't really know how exactly it works, but that's the basic gist of it. A cold bed, though, is yours. Mine's a cold bed. It is not anyone else's to use. It is mine. I keep it tidy and everything else. And I keep it all together. We do have some storage bin space underneath here, which is really nice to have, as well as some closet space inside of here. So the beds are bunk bed style. We have 3 rooms. Yeah, 3 rooms total in this house. 2 are upstairs. And it's not bad. It's really not that bad. Second question I get asked the most is, how often do you spend at your crash pad? Like, how many nights do you spend? I probably spend at least maybe 10 to 12 nights a month, or days, nights, whatever, here at the crash pad. And sometimes it varies. Like, I think one month I only spent like maybe 5 or 6 days, or nights, which really doesn't seem like much, but when you do the math with how little I'm paying, really and truthfully, compared to most crash pads, it's worth it, because a hotel, even the cheapest ones that even like I can find, because we do get discounts on hotels and things like that, but even the cheapest ones I can find are like still $30 to $40 a night, which doesn't seem like much, but if you're staying there more than what, 6 nights a month, it adds up to probably more than $250. And in my crash pad, let's see, there are 6 beds downstairs and 16 upstairs, so 22 beds total. We're not completely full right now, and honestly though, even though that does seem like a lot of people, it really doesn't feel like that many, because we're not all here at the same time. Like today, for example, I think it's just me and like 3 or 4 other people that are here today. Everyone else is flying or gone, visiting family or whatever. So it's quiet. It's really quiet in here. And then there's days where there's a lot of people, but we've never all been here at the very same time. So, at the very exact same time. So it's not near as crowded feeling as it sounds, in my opinion. It is what you make it. I really, really like my Crashpad. It's nice and clean, very updated, and it's in a really good area. I'm super close to the airport, and that's the other thing that I get asked a lot, is it better to stay closer to the airport? Absolutely, 100%, especially when you're on reserve. You only get 2 hours usually to report to the airport, and if they call you and give you that minimum window of 2 hours, you feel really rushed and you don't want to be late, because then you get in trouble and get points. We don't want that. So it's good to stay close to the airport. My Crashpad is maybe 8 minutes at the most to the employee parking lot, and then I take the bus to the airport. The parking bus to the airport. My Crashpad has 2 bathrooms, one downstairs, one upstairs, and sometimes it can get a little bit crowded, but we do have a little chart where we can, if you know what time you're going to need the bathroom, you can plug yourself in and specify how long you're going to be in the bathroom for, and kind of make a schedule. Same thing for the laundry. If it gets too crowded, we make a little list of times and who has it reserved for that time frame. We have 2 fridges, one in the kitchen and one actually in the garage, which they've converted into a bag room, which I'll talk about in a minute. So we have plenty of fridge space, and we do label our stuff so that no one gets mixed up. We also have nice little cubbies, and those cubbies we can keep other food items, like dry food items, really anything. I mean, shoot, people keep their flat irons in there sometimes. But they do have extra storage for us, which is really, really nice. Outside in the 1-car garage that they've converted into a bag room, there is a metal frame type style bag, like suitcase rack from ceiling to the floor. I think it's got like 4 or 5 racks on it. And that's where we get to keep our luggage so that it's out of the bedrooms and not cluttered. Also, if you commute, you usually bring like a separate bag or extra bags, and it's just there to put any extra bags and keep your luggage in, which is nice. It helps to not keep it so cluttered in the bedrooms, and I really like that. Well, I think that's pretty much it. I think I've covered everything. Personally, I don't mind the Crashpad life. Eventually, I would like to not need a Crashpad, because it is an extra expense that I do have to pay per month for. And you know, who doesn't want to save $250 a month, you know, and put it towards something else? But for right now, it's good to have in the beginning, especially when you're brand new on reserve and you don't know how much you're going to be working. At my last airline, I hardly ever worked. I just didn't work very much. It was very slow, always, pretty constantly, and I sat at my Crashpad. I used it, you know what I mean? So I like that my airline is keeping you busy, trust me, but it is an extra expense that I would love not to have eventually. So once I get a good hold on my schedule, like I said, I'm still new, figuring it all out, figuring out how much I'm really going to be working and how much I'm going to be spending, how much time I should say I'm going to be spending at the Crashpad. I have some family here in the Dallas area, but I don't want to overstay my welcome, so that's why I haven't leaned on them. But eventually, if it comes down to it and I'm only spending a few nights a month sleeping and the rest of it I'm working, then there's no point in me having the Crashpad anymore. So we'll see. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see how it goes. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it or if it helped you at all, and I will see y'all next time.